Good morning to you, Pete. Good morning to the viewers. There's a little bit to unpack here, so let's jump straight into it. The message from our Prime Minister was pretty simple. We might not like setting goals, but we're getting on with it and that the world can rely upon us. The message from Joe Biden was that the US is resolving now that he's in charge to take action. Here's Joe Biden.
This is a moral imperative, an economic imperative, a moment of peril, but also a moment of extraordinary possibilities. Time is short, but I believe we can do this, and I believe that we will do this.
Now, Pete, there were 40 world leaders on this Zoom call overnight, and it was very clear the message was now is the time to decarbonise, now is the time to act.
No nation can solve this crisis on our own, as I know you all fully understand. All of us, and particularly those of us who represent the world's largest economies, we have to step up. You know, those that do take action and make bold investments in their people and clean energy future will win the good jobs of tomorrow and make their economies more resilient and more competitive.
Now, Scott Morrison wanted to make it clear that he knew the world had heard about Australia's climate wars, but we do have skin in the game and that Australia is certainly doing its bit. He was very determined to make the point that we had a very large uptake of rooftop solar.
We're deploying renewable energy 10 times faster than the global average per person. We have the highest uptake of rooftop solar in the world. Australia is on the pathway to net zero. Our goal is to get there as soon as we possibly can through technology that enables and transforms our industries, not taxes that eliminate them and the jobs and livelihoods they support and create, especially in our regions.
What about new goals, Jono?
Yeah, there's a fair bit here when it comes to new goals. We've talked previously about the United Kingdom. They now want to be the world's leader in terms of cutting goals. There's new ambitions from France, Japan. The United States also came forward with a new one. Joe Biden declaring, as we tipped yesterday, that they want to cut emissions by half by 2030, just the end of the decade. Here's, I should point out, the UK Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, talking about what the UK wants to do also.
We were the first country to pass legislation for net zero. We have the biggest offshore wind capacity still, I think, of any country in the world, the Saudi Arabia of wind, as I never tire of saying. We're halfway to net zero. We have carbon emissions lower than at any point since the 19th century.
And just finally, Pete, I suppose if there was an awkward moment for our Prime Minister, it was the fact that his microphone wasn't working. It's one of those habitual problems we have with Zoom calls these days. He got over that. This was the message that those online were left with, though.
We have proven performance, transparent emissions accounting and transformative technology targets to unlock pathways to net zero. Future generations, my colleagues and excellencies, will thank us, not for what we have promised, but what we deliver. And on that score, Australia can always be relied upon.
There you go, Pete. There's a lot in it. There's a lot happening. Obviously, this summit goes for not just one night, but 2 nights also. We expect to hear from other leaders, the likes of Bill Gates as well. So we'll continue to bring that news to the viewers, but our government declaring that we're getting on with it, even though it might not look like we're doing necessarily what the world wants.
Yep, okay.